thank you for agreeing to this call with me today. I'm so excited to learn about you and Zachary and his gorgeous diamond.
Well, my name, it depends on who I'm talking with, but it's Beth Johnson. But I've also been referred to by both of my children as Cruella DeVille.
No.
And Zachary used to call me Woman. So whenever we were out in the store, if somebody says Mom, everyone turns, but you hear, "You're a woman." And I knew it was them.
That's a clever way of getting your attention without, alerting anyone else.
Yes. So anyhow, it's Beth Johnson though.
I'll just call you Beth.
Thanks.
And who, Beth, is your beautiful diamond made from?
My diamond here is made of Zachary, and he was our son. So,
thank you. How would you best describe Zachary's personality?
Honestly, Zachary's personality was very contagious. I mean, everyone loved him, and he was charming, he was strong, he was adventurous. He was a magnet to people. I mean, people wanted to be with him. So he had a very charismatic personality.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So, yes.
What would you say was Zachary's favorite thing to do?
Zachary's favorite things to do were travel, be on the beach, and hang out with his friends.
Sounds like a great time.
Yes. Yes.
Well, you say that you live in Ohio. What beach would he go to?
Well, his favorite beaches were in Hawaii and in California. We lived in Southern California for 3 years, and we tried to go back every other year to visit his beaches. So,
would he do anything like surf?
He has surfed, and he would love to paddleboard. It was amazing. I wish I sometimes could have taken better pictures, but he would go so far out, and you can only do so much with a cell phone. But he loved the water. He loved the ocean.
Wow.
So,
yeah, it sounds like he was quite, the ocean beach spirit.
Yes. And I mean, we've gone to Florida beaches for lots of years, but I mean, California and Hawaii were his favorites for sure.
Would you say that, because he said he loved to travel, would you say that Hawaii and California were his favorite destinations to travel to?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I imagine those are some beautiful beaches.
Yes. Hawaii's the best. I don't care what anyone says, but yes, they're the best.
Yeah. You said, you have some pictures of Zachary surfing. What is something else that you have a lot of pictures of him doing?
Probably most of Zachary's pictures are just during our travels on our trips, and he also was a competitive swimmer. And I have a lot of swimming photos of him also.
Wow, that's so impressive.
Yes. He made nationals cut. His times were national levels at 15. So, wow. Yes, he was very competitive, and he didn't put forth a lot of effort. If he had put forth a lot of more effort that he was capable of, he could have done a lot of things with it, but he chose not to.
Well, that's still very impressive that he was a competitive swimmer. I'm a terrible swimmer, so anyone who can swim is impressive to me.
I understand that.
What's one of your favorite memories that you have of Zachary and yourself?
Honestly, it goes back to traveling, and there's so many to name. I guess one of my favorite things was he had always helped, move his sister into college. So when she went to UK, every year we'd move her in, and he always was happy to help. And when she went to grad school, he helped move her into Mississippi State. And we got to surprise him by her being there when he went to college. So
that's a beautiful memory. Yeah.
Very memorable. So
I love that. That sounds like a beautiful memory. Where did Zachary go to college?
He went to the University of Central Oklahoma.
Oh, okay. UCO. I have some friends who went there.
Yes. And there's actually a scholarship there in his name.
Wow. That's phenomenal.
Yes.
I'm so happy to hear that. Would Zachary ever do anything that would just like drive you crazy? Like, would he sing loud, or like, you said that he would say like, "Yeah, woman," in the store. Is there anything else he would do?
One of Zachary's favorite things to do was to annoy his sister. And his favorite thing and he would get really close to her, but not touch her. He'd say, "I'm not touching you." And she'd be like, "Zachary, stop." And he's like, "I'm not touching you." So it's hard for me to yell at him because he wasn't touching her, but he was like this close from her. So that was probably the biggest thing, even growing up, that they argued about, was that I'm not touching you.
That's hilarious. It sounds like Zachary was like clever, he's like, I can't get in trouble for doing something I'm not actually doing.
Exactly. But yeah, he was annoying everyone.
That's funny. What are some of the little things that Zachary would do just like day to day that you didn't think about in the moment as being significant, but is something that you think about today?
Everyone who knew Zachary totally misses his hugs. I mean, he hugged and you just felt it go through your entire body.
Wow. Those are the best kinds of hugs.
Yes. And his smile. So
do you feel like those hugs, had a big impact on you and, the people that knew Zachary?
Absolutely. And, he just, as I said, his personality was he was just very charming, but he was very loyal and very sincere. I mean, he loved people.
Yeah. It sounds like it.
One of the stories that my daughter told at his memorial service, was he was traveling home for Thanksgiving and he was snapping with the lady sitting next to him who was his grandma's age. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, how many people would you let snap you on an airplane? I mean, I wouldn't want somebody snapping me.
What do you mean by snapping?
Snapchat. I'm sorry.
Oh.
The app. Yeah, he was Snapchatting with a lady next door, and she was like posing with him and everything. And she's probably in her 70s and sitting there Snapchatting with Zachary so he could send it to his friends.
That's incredible. Yeah, it sounds like he was just like a people magnet, like even strangers on planes loved him.
Even when he was little, the guy who drives the carts in the airport was holding him as he was driving one because he would go to anyone. I mean, he loved people from the early, yes.
That's so beautiful. I love that.
And he didn't care what the color, what the race, what their background was. He loved everyone.
That's incredible. What is like something that you do now to celebrate Zachary that you've incorporated maybe into your day-to-day life?
Honestly, now I get to wear my diamond in my day-to-day life. That Zachary's there. The other thing is now I feel Zachary wanted to be a diamond, and because he wanted to be a diamond, I'm really thankful that I've been able to do that. And he had learned about it in high school. So he knew all along he always wanted to be cremated, and that's the choice he wanted to do. So we honored those wishes. But there's not a day that goes by that if it's 7/18 and it's a lot of times I look at the clock and that was his birthday and it's 7/18, or today I looked at my steps and it was 1997, which is the year he was born.
Yeah. Wow. Just like seeing those little things that remind you of him, it's just, proof that he'll never fade from your memory. Like you'll always have that.
That's true. Yeah.
Did Zachary have any like little pieces of wisdom that he would share, or like quotes he would always say?
He really didn't have anything. I mean, we always did it's a book that I'll love you forever, like I'll like you for always. So,
no, that's really sweet.
Yes, but nothing, regular. I mean, he just always said, enjoy life to its fullest. And I really think he did.
I was going to say, yeah, it sounds from how you've described Zachary, I 100% believe that he lived his life to the fullest.
Yes, he did.
What would you say you miss the most about Zachary?
Some of the things I miss most is his smile, his blue eyes, which is why my diamond is blue, and his hugs.
Yeah.
And, you always got a random text or a random, phone call. And he lived in a house attending UCO, and he would walk to school. But if it were raining, the neighbors in the neighborhood would take him to school because he knew all the neighbors, all the dogs, all the kids in the neighborhood. So I just miss hearing and seeing those stories about this person took him to school today, or just all his little stories. So
yeah, that's incredible that just everyone knew him, and the fact that they were willing to help him out and drive him to school when it was raining, is proof to me that he would have done the same in return. Like he was like that kind of person. And I just think that's beautiful.
Yes. And he also believed in being kind to everybody. I mean, holding the doors, standing there, he would drive in the little carts from the grocery store. He was always very thoughtful.
That's incredible. Is there anything that you would like to share with other people who are grieving the loss of a loved one? Any advice that you would give them?
One of the biggest pieces of advice that I would love to have had is take pictures with your kids. I hate being on camera. I didn't like having pictures taken. And I have a lot, but not near as many as I said, I went and snapped with Zachary. It's like, I don't want to be snapped. Well, now that I know you can save those, I wish I had those.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. Well, that's great advice.
And I also tell, you can never say I love you too much.
I agree. That's beautiful advice. Thank you, Beth.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say have been some of the reactions to your diamond? Like when you tell people about your necklace, how do they react?
One thing that has shocked me is everyone wants to touch it and hold it. And I don't know, I think that did kind of surprise me a little bit, that people are hanging on to my neck. And I also, Eterneva had worked with the jeweler, and they did my pendant for it also, the setting for the diamond. And there's the little Z on one side, and his initials are in the pendant.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's amazing.
So, but your Eterneva's jeweler did an excellent job. So
I'm glad to hear that. You said that people will hold on to your necklace. Do you mind when they do that? Is it do you feel, happy when people do that, or are you kind of annoyed?
At first I was a little taken back just because, but then I hold it throughout the day too. So it made sense why people want to touch it.
Right. Do you think that, wearing Zachary's diamond do you feel like this has led you to keep talking about him with people and bringing him up constantly?
I do feel like having Zachary as a diamond has encouraged people, to talk more about him with me and to me. And it has been very nice.
I'm so glad to hear that. That, makes me really happy, because I think that's one of the best things to come out of this is that, oftentimes people will say like, they don't want to bring up someone because they're just afraid to talk about them. But having the necklace, you get to keep their memory alive and keep, them being spoken about. And so I'm really glad to hear that's, your case as well.
Yes, it definitely has been the case.
Would you say it's been, really nice having Zachary's diamond around your neck, or do you wear it every single day? Are there some days that you don't feel like you can wear it?
No, I do wear it every single day. And, when we had talked about Zachary's wishes, we had talked all of us as a family, like what we wanted done. And, Zachary specifically said he wanted to be a necklace because he always wanted to be close to my heart.
That's beautiful.
Sorry.
I love that.
So anyhow, our daughter, of course, wants to be a ring if something ever happened. Hopefully not, but she wants to be more bling bling. So very different children, same parents.
Wow. How, you have Zachary as a necklace, but how do you ultimately want him to be remembered?
As a kind person, a giving person, and somebody who had character and morals and just overall fun and loving. So
I think that's a beautiful way to be remembered. And like I said, from how you've described him, that's exactly how I think he will be.
Yes. Yes.
How has Zachary's passing affected your views on life and death?
I value each and every day and the time that I have with my daughter and family, and never take time with family or friends for granted.
I agree. What's one thing that Zachary taught you about life?
Not to stress the small stuff. And it's kind of hard to keep that in perspective sometimes, but life is a gift and it's a blessing, and to enjoy it to its fullest. So every year on his birthday, we take a trip and we do something that we think he would want to do, because that's what we did when he was here.
Wow. I mean, that's a great way to, continue celebrating him. What, are you going to a beach? Is that, what is one of the things that you're doing when you go on those trips?
Well, this is embarrassing to admit, but one of the things that we do for his birthday is this past year, we were on the water because of COVID, but the year before we went to Seattle and went to the original Starbucks, because in high school, he pretty much went to Starbucks every day before school. So we were at the original Starbucks on his birthday, and I left my Starbucks card and we bought drinks for people throughout the morning. They didn't know, but the ladies there were amazing to help us do that. And it was a lot of fun to hear how excited the employees were. After a couple hours, we went back and just checked on them, and they were all like, "Oh my gosh, this is so much fun." And that's what it was all about. That's totally something that Zachary would do.
That's absolutely so sweet. I can just imagine from, you said that he was a people magnet and that people loved him. And also he loved Starbucks. So that's just, I know you said that it was embarrassing to admit, but I think that's amazing. I think it's a beautiful way to celebrate Zachary.
Well, that's what we did. And this year we're going to be on a beach. We're not sure where yet, but we're going to try to plan that this weekend. So,
well, good luck with planning that. I'm sure.
Thank you.
What is one thing that you think if Zachary were watching that, or if people were watching this, what is something that Zachary would want to tell them?
I think that Zachary would want to tell people watching this that you need to forgive, you need to love, and you need to make the world a better place.
Those are great things to share. I think everyone could benefit from hearing that.
Yes. Yes.
Is there anything that you would like to tell people watching this?
Basically, love your children. Tell them that you love them. Take photos with them. And, life is truly about making memories. Life is not about things, material things. It's not buying their love. It's spending time with them. And it's something I don't think people will ever regret, is spending time with their children and making memories.
I agree. Well, I just want to thank you, Beth, so much for taking the time to meet with me today and sharing all of your beautiful memories of Zachary. It's been an absolute pleasure. And I can't express how much, it means to me to have this shared, because all of your memories are so beautiful, and it's been such an honor. And before, we end this, I just want to ask if there's anything else you'd like to add.
There's not. I will say, though, the people at Eterneva, and honestly, from, Shelley to Ashley to Brooke. Brooke is just, I even got a text from Adele, and I know she's one of the co-founders, and I've been so impressed with everybody that I've come across and the videos I've received, and everyone, yourself, everyone's just been amazing and easy to work with and very attentive, and just, I hope to make it down there this summer and meet everyone in person.